My pitch for why you should play Bison. He's simple to pick up with excellent space control. He can fly high in the air with Shadow's Rise, he can go through fireballs with Psycho Crusher, and he has one of the best forward advancing specials in the game with Scissor Kicks. On offense, he can place a bomb that detonates after a few seconds, leading to lots of strong offensive sequences. And he also has a horse, Rosanante. However, the downside is he has some of the weakest defense in the game. No EX reversal, and his super reversals are all slow. And of this recording, I'm in the top 10 Bisons in North America, so you know you'll be in good hands with this guy. Let's do this. All right, so the first thing I want to start with is Bison's neutral game. Bison has several really strong tools to work with in neutral. Shadow's Rise and the different follow-ups, Scissor Kicks, and Psycho Crusher, and some of his normals. So we'll start with the most obvious one, which is Scissor Kicks. Now, this is the move that everyone on Twitter thinks is really, really strong, and it is. Now, he has 3 versions, and they all go different spacing. Heavy kick, it goes the furthest. And the goal with this move is you want to space it so basically the end of his foot is hitting him. So you don't want this to happen, because if you miss space this, for example, they just kill you, right? You have to be kind of careful of spacing this, but thankfully, like, you can still like overshoot this. On block, it's generally really safe as long as you space it properly. So there, it was spaced properly and they wouldn't be able to punish. So for example, like I can't reach at these spacings, and if I do something slower, it's just not a punish. Like, that wasn't actually a punish, right? You do have to be really careful, because if they are up close, they get a punish, and if they're on point, this punish is going to go into a decent amount of damage, although only lights can punish this move. The light and medium scissor kick are -5, the heavy scissor kicks only -4, so you need to know if you're fighting Bison that, you know, what 4 frame and 5 frame normal go the furthest to reach Bison. Now, there's a bunch of reasons why you throw this out. One, it's unreactable. They're just like walking around in this range. You know, half the time that means they're not blocking, which means you could kind of throw it out randomly and it might hit them. And then on hit, you actually have a pretty good situation where you can either go for a throw, depending on the distance, right? So like, let's say I'm here, you go for a throw. You can go for, you know, walk back, try to bait like a DP. A really common option is walk back heavy punch, just in case they happen to throw tech, or you can try to just attack. So crouch light, stand light's really common depending on the spacing, and then like I used to call this the infinite because you could just kind of loop this over against worse players, right? The other advantage of this move is that on counter hit and punish counter, you actually get a combo. So on counter hit, your combo looks something like this, where you get to combo into a light, and I like to go into the bomb here, but you can also just go into scissor kicks like this. Stand light is generally more consistent, so I recommend doing that, and then you get the bomb, and then it eventually explodes, and then, you know, you get mixed up, right? So I recommend going into the bomb, because I think the post bomb situation is better, but you can just go into scissor kicks because it's easier, right? And on punish counter, you get crouch medium punch, right? So this crouch medium punch can go into anything, but I recommend EX scissor kicks, and we'll talk about that more later. Now, there's a bunch of different ways people will deal with scissor kicks. So DI seems like it'd be really good at first glance, but they actually have to do it preemptively. You can't actually react to scissor kicks, right? So if I try to react, that was 16 frames. No one can react faster than 16 frames, right? And even the heavy version of scissor kicks, you have to react in 21 frames. So if they can block the DI, that means they can also DI back. So if someone is DIing your scissor kicks, that means you're being way too predictable. Just wait a little bit and then DI them back. The other really common option is people just neutral jump like crazy. So the idea is that if you happen to scissor kick, the scissor kick whiffs and you get punched. Now, there's a few different ways you can deal with the neutral jumps. One is you wait for them to land and then do scissor kicks. This is probably the easiest thing to do, right? Because if they happen to like jump, or they happen to press a button, you're going to be able to clip them. The second thing is, if you have a really good read, you can do drive rush, crouch heavy punch. And so you can do something like level 2, and you can just blow them up for trying to neutral jump. So realistically, neutral jump's not that good of a strategy unless they do like very sparingly and they have a good read on their scissor kick. Now, what I think the best thing to do against scissor kick is just walk and block, right? Like, it's really important to know the range where it's punishable and where it's not, right? And if you're blocking scissor kick and you can't punish, or what will happen is that, like, if opponent's good, they won't try to like mistakenly punish the scissor kick. And so they'll start poking out like this, right? If you're the other Bison, you just block, right? The other thing they might do is like they might try to like take their turn with something really slow. You can also block that too, or you could try to counter poke. You could try to do something like this, crouch medium punch after they catch like a whiff button. If I do stand heavy punch as a defender, I'm gonna get clipped, right? So it's this kind of like rock, paper, scissors game that happens after a block scissor kick. That's honestly probably in your favor because you're the one initiating it and you're gonna be more ready for this rock, paper, scissors game. The other really common situation is that they'll try to punish and they miss their punish. And so what's really good, I think, with Bison is you do space scissor kicks and then you press 5 heavy punch. I'm either forced to block, right? And that's a plus on block. Or I try to like take my turn with something slower and I get punish countered and then I die. So there's a lot of application to this move, but if I could summarize this section, it's throw out scissor kicks when you think they're going to get hit by it. And even if they block, like just try to rotate your options, you know, sometimes press after, sometimes just walk back. And also if they're just blocking the whole time, you're slowly chipping away at their drive gauge, right? And this pushes them to the corner. So if they're just blocking, like you're already winning the game. All right, the second really strong move of Bison is this Shadow's Rise. There's 2 different follow-ups. There's the Devil's Reverse follow-up, which is really, really strong. The cool thing about this is you can kind of angle it. You can angle it back. You can kind of angle it neutral. You can angle it forward. And if they happen to block it, it's your turn. The most common thing I'll do is I'll do this and I'll go for a throw, or I'll like neutral jump and like try to bait the throw, right? You have the head stomp follow-up. The head stomp follow-up is okay. It's really good against people like trying to DP because they'll just like make the DP whiff and then they die. This actually isn't that great on block though. My recommendation is just use just air to air jump back, and if they happen to like do some like, you know, shenanigans like this, which you could do a follow-up after the stomp, you'll just hit them and then they take a lot of damage. The safest thing to do after this is just back off and see what they do. And if they're sitting still and they're not doing anything, then you can just come down, press punch, come down, and then, you know, you get a strike throw mix up again. The one tip I'd give for this move is if you're going to commit to the punch, just commit right away. Because like oftentimes like people will wait too long and then this will just, the punch follow-up will just whiff. So you can literally just like mash it out and the punch follow-up will come out at the right time. But yeah, how I recommend doing Devil's Reverse is 3 main things you want to rotate between, right? The heavy kick version goes the furthest, so you can, you know, just go for stomp and try to like preempt something. You can do immediate Devil's Reverse, and that'll oftentimes like stop air to air, or you can just do Shadow's Rise into nothing and then see what they do, right? And these are all really hard to stop, right? So if I tried to go air to air, I'm just gonna get clipped, right? If I'm waiting for this to come down, I press crouch heavy punch. Yeah, that's not good, right? I'm waiting for them to come down. I press crouch heavy punch. I get punched. I die. So there's a very strong RPS game here that's pretty much in your favor. The only disadvantage is this charge, so it's pretty obvious like when they're gonna go for it. And if they're really on point, or if you do it the right spacing, this air to air will like blow you up, right? Especially a character like Bison with one of the best air to airs in the game, you're gonna be hurting. But make sure you rotate your options, and you should be able to get Devil's Reverse working on people as long as you're doing it from like this range here. If you do it from really close, air to air becomes a lot better, DP becomes a lot better. You kind of have to catch them off guard, or like use it to, for example, like escape the corner and, you know, stomp on their head and like try to get away. All right, the third option that's really strong in neutral is Psycho Crusher. You don't really use the light, medium, heavy version that much in neutral. They can go through fireballs. They technically can anti-air. Actually, the light's quite good at anti-air. It's also like really good to deal with like stuff like head stomp, right? So it's like you can kind of either get away, or if like you predict it right, then, you know, you can anti-air. So light Psycho Crusher good for anti-air. Psycho Crushers are more for combos. EX Psycho Crusher, where it's at though. This move is cracked. One, it's safe on block. So if they block it, you can't be punished. It's also not even in throw range. So if they want to throw you, if they have to take a risk and walk forward, which means that you can mash after it. So the RPS isn't even that bad. The main advantage is it goes through fireballs. If you're like at this range, you can just react with EX Psycho Crusher and punish their fireball, and then just dash forward, and then they get mixed up, right? So you can start your whole offensive game plan off one EX Psycho Crusher. It's also quite fast. If you're just like looking to clip someone like walking forward in this range, like you hit them and then you go forward. So to me, this is his best EX move by far. It's also really good in Burnout, because in Burnout it's +1. So for example, they're in Burnout and you just do this, now it's your turn, right? You can do stuff like this. That's like really, really strong if they're ever in Burnout, not to mention the amount of chip it does. A lot of trouble doing his charge attack. Can you explain how to do Psycho Crusher? Yeah, so the way charge moves work in this game, they're both the same for Psycho Crusher and Shadow's Rise, is you have to hold back for Psycho Crusher, down for Devil's Reverse for 50 frames. So you see this counter on the left. So as long as that counter hits 40, so you see I didn't get a Psycho Crusher there because I only held back for 39 frames. Now, as long as that counter hits at least 40 and then you hit forward, you'll get the Psycho Crusher or you'll get the Devil's Rise, right? You just need to make sure you time it well enough that you're at least hitting 40. And most people, they don't do it exactly 40. They usually wait like a second, so that way they know for sure they're getting the charge input instead of getting something like this, right? He has some other tools that are pretty good for controlling space, particularly stand medium kick. This move is quite good. It's fast, has really good range. It's good just to kind of throw out if you need something like you're not sure what the opponent's going to do. You just want to control some space. You could walk forward, stand medium kick them, and see what happens, right? Stand jab also has a pretty decent amount of range. So if you're ever like not sure what to do, you just need something quick to throw out. Stand jab kind of serves that purpose. His drive rush is insanely good as well. So yeah, as you can see, it goes really far. I think the best options after drive rush are probably crouch light kick. Crouch light kick combos into crouch medium kick into EX or whatever you want after that. Drive rush stand medium punch is pretty good. We can talk about that later, but it gives you a lot of advantage on hit and block. All right, so some other tools. Down forward heavy kick is like a slide. I actually don't think it's that great in terms of risk reward. Like if they block it, you die. If you get a hit, you only get like 900 damage, right? So use this move if they're like never down backing and you know it's gonna hit, but use it very sparingly. The other neutral move I recommend is crouch medium punch. This is like a very good buffer, which means that like, so for example, if they're ever like dashing forward or they're like whiffing something, you can just kind of like throw it out into EX scissor kicks or drive rush cancel. And it's really good at stopping it just because it's really fast and has a good hitbox, right? The other place is really good is like, the opponent's drive rushing at you. This is your best drive rush check. And then again, you get pretty good damage off this drive rush counter. Crouch medium kick, also really, really strong. It's not something you just kind of throw out, but it's more of like you walk forward and just try to catch them walking back. Again, your forward walk speed's faster than people's back walk speed. So if you get the read, they're going to be walking back, right? You can kind of like clip their walk back with a crouch medium kick, and then you can go into a combo, right? Bison has two anti-airs, jump medium punch and crouch heavy punch, right? Crouch heavy punch, it's a little easier to use, but sometimes it trades unless you do it really early. The nice thing is you get a knockdown, right? So a lot of anti-air normals, you don't get a knockdown. This time you can always drive rush and after them get a mix-up, but the trade-off is you have to press it a little bit earlier than some other anti-airs. The anti-air that makes him really good anti-airing is this jump medium punch, and the cool thing is you can get a juggle. The easiest thing is just do medium Psycho Crusher. If you want to be optimal, drive rush after this into target combo into late bomb. All right, so let's talk section 2. Let's talk about combos. Now, a lot of characters, their general usage of meter is I'm gonna use a lot of drive meter to kind of cash out and do drive rush cancel, right? Now, Bison is a little bit different. He has a very, very good EX move for combo, which is EX scissor kick, right? Now, this EX scissor kick has a lot of different follow-ups, and the most common one is you just go into H-bomb, right? And the reason this is really good is because one, the corner carry is insane. Two, EX moves are more drive meter efficient than drive cancel combos, right? They use one less drive and you start recovering your drive meter quicker. And you also just get a lot of extensions, right? So for example, a couple other things you could do, 5 heavy punch after, hold up forward. This is a safe jump. If you want to spend drive, you could do his 5 medium punch target combo into core circle back light punch, get extra damage, get extra distance. There's just a lot of flexibility with routing into the EX scissor. In the corner with the EX scissor, you get forward heavy punch into core circle back light bomb. And yeah, it's just generally meter efficient compared to doing something like this. Very similar damage, but you spend a lot more drive. So in general, try the route into EX Scissor whenever possible, unless you're low drive and it's not going to kill. In that case, you can just go into, you know, I like to always go into bomb. So crouch medium punch always goes into medium bomb. You can also go into Psycho Crusher for a little extra damage. Now the issue is that you just don't put a bomb on them, right? So I personally prefer the bomb. I think the bomb is really cool and it leads into a lot more potential damage, or you can just get your damage, you know, up front with the bomb. It's kind of up to you how you want to play the character. Another really important combo is this punch counter for heavy punch. This is going to be your shimmy normal, right? So anytime you want to bait a throw, walk back 5 heavy punch. It's quite good. It's a little slow, so it does lose to like delayed jab and stuff. You gotta be a little careful. His shimmy buttons aren't the best. If you need something fast to react to a throw with, you know, you can do like crouch medium punch, but this is like your preemptive shimmy is just 5 heavy punch, right? And this is also your DP punish as well. So 5 heavy kick, crouch medium kick into the same routing we talked about. A little over 3k damage, plus you get a bomb setup, right? And obviously you can also keep this meterless as well. Just go into Psycho Crusher and mix from there. You'll also be at, like, sometimes you'll hit 5 heavy punch at this range. So just be a little careful. You can get drive rush, crouch medium punch, 5 medium punch, crouch medium punch, and the bomb again. And you kind of see the same routing appearing all the time. So 5 medium punch always goes into crouch medium punch, and crouch medium punch is generally how you're ending almost all your combos. So like this, for example, is a really good jumping combo. There's a couple drive rush extensions that are good. The one I recommend you learning first is after drive rush, crouch medium kick or crouch medium punch, stand medium punch, crouch heavy punch, into core circle back heavy bomb. And that's pretty much it. There's obviously a lot more combos you can learn. There's cash out combos. I wouldn't focus on them too hard. We'll talk about in the advanced section. Knockdown wise, generally after bomb, you have to be a little careful because there's not like a great way to stop mashers after light or medium bomb. Yeah, so that will technically be mashers. If you delay it a little bit longer, you'll get extra pressure. This is why I like the heavy bomb, because you can do drive rush back heavy kick and that will meaty and they can't mash, right? So just keep in mind that the knockdown after the light, medium, heavy bomb are all different, with the heavy giving you the most advantage. After throw, it's kind of the same. I like my go-to option is drive rush medium punch here. And the cool thing about drive rush medium punch is you have 2 different target combos. You have stand medium crouch heavy kick, which goes low, and you have forward heavy punch, which is overhead, right? The issue with the overhead version is that you can just like literally mash this out and combo the opponent. The low version of the target combo, that's what this is designed to beat. So if I'm just like mashing, you get counter hit, and then you get a very basic counter hit combo. Right. I generally find myself doing drive rush medium punch as my go-to option, you know, after throw or after some of these knockdowns. Once you condition them not to mash, right, which this will actually beat mash, you can start to do like shit like stand medium punch and then crouch medium kick. And this hits at a very similar timing to the overhead, right? So it's actually like, this is actually kind of pretty good mix. So if they aren't falling for the overhead, that means you can do something like stand medium punch, crouch medium kick, catch their walk back, and get a good amount of combo from there. The other thing that's really important is after this bomb, Psycho Crusher detonates the bomb. So if they're blocking and you just do Psycho Crusher, the bomb explodes and you're actually left at advantage, which means you can throw, you can shimmy, you can, do stand medium punch. So take, for example, this sequence, right? Go for mix up. I go into Psycho Crusher, the bomb explodes, and I'm left at advantage. I can either do strike, throw, or shimmy, right? Most common is throw, just because it's pretty easy. You have to delay the throw a little bit. But having the bomb on them is really nice because it essentially gives you an extra turn on knockdown. The other cool thing about bomb is, like, let's say you don't have enough drive to, like, run after them, right? Because you don't want to risk burnout. You can just, like, go back to neutral. And, like, they have to deal with the bomb. Either they have to approach and start attacking you, or you wait for the bomb to explode, and then you just go in, right? So the bomb is really, really strong. Another thing I like to do is, like, I get the bomb on them and then I start playing this game, right? Like, what are you gonna do? Make the bomb explode. All right, time to mix. And now they're already in the corner and then they get throw looped. Which, by the way, Bison does have a throw loop after, throw. Walk forward, throw. You can also do dash forward throw if you're lazy. I don't think dash forward throw is as strong. I personally like the walk forward a bit better, but it's a little harder to time. And obviously your meaty options, 5 medium punch, drive rush, 5 medium punch, 5 heavy punch. Like you have a lot of different options you can mix up. You know, walk back, 5 heavy punch to shimmy. As long as you're mixing up your options after throw in the corner, that's kind of essential for the character. All right, so I want to talk about defense a little bit. Now, Bison's defense is trash. There's not much to talk about. He has all of his supers are invincible, but they're all slow, which means that like if they do a fast jab on your knockdown and you super, they'll be able to block in time. Not every character has a fast jab. You have to keep in mind, like, you know, what characters do at a higher level. But basically, don't use the supers that much because their supers are a lot easier to bait than EX moves, right? But if you are going to reversal, probably level 1 is your best option. Don't use level 2 because this thing is like, the level 2 is like super slow, right? Like, this move is not going to catch anyone that's halfway decent at the game. Psycho Crusher, like this doesn't have invul. This technically has invul, the EX Shadows Rise. The issue is that it's like not very good. So for example, if like even if they try to throw, like you don't really get a punish. You can like kind of take your turn unless they're looking out for it. Basically, don't use it on wake up. So your basic options are delay tech, which means that you hold down back and like do a delay throw. Delay mash with crouch light punch or crouch medium punch. They're both pretty good. Crouch light punch can combo into crouch medium punch on counter hit. So really common sequence is, you know, you block for a little bit, you do crouch jab, stand jab into, you know, scissors or EX scissors. Once you're confident in your timing, and then you kind of start your offense from there. You can also just block, jump out of the corner. It's okay with Bison. His cross up's not the best. You want to make sure you're using jump medium kick. It says best cross up. Technically, jump light works as a cross up, you know, if you're playing modern or something. But jump medium kick's where it's at. Especially in the corner, jump forward is really good too. And that's mostly it. His defense sucks. Wake up drive reversal is okay. You have to be careful because it loses to the same things that lose to his wake up super also loses to. But really, you have to just like play really smart defense and try to find your way out. You know, especially if a character has really bad defense, what you should focus on is not getting knocked down in the first place, right? So making the correct neutral decisions to, you know, maximize the strengths of your character. You should also be using parry with Bison. Now, because Bison's wake ups are not very strong, that means people will be attacking you more with wake up jabs or other melee attacks. So use parry and hopefully you'll get lucky and get a perfect parry and you'll completely swing the momentum in your favor. This will force them to use throws, which then make your invincible supers better. So you need to rotate all of your options to make it unpredictable for your opponent. All right, so let's talk about all the tools we forgot. His jump-ins, heavy punch is probably the best. It has the most disjoint hitbox. So if you're looking to trade with their air-to-air or their anti-air, jump heavy punch is the best. Jump heavy kick has the most range, right? So like here, your jump is gonna whiff for jump heavy punch. Jump heavy kick works pretty well. I'd say vast majority of the time you're using jump heavy punch. Jump light punch is a little quicker. I'll occasionally use it in like situations where like they jump over my head. I need something really quick that like, because I'm late on reacting to jump medium punch. But generally I never try to use light punch. Same thing with light kick. I think jump medium kick's superior in like pretty much every way. Oh, his sweep, you're pretty much only using this to like punish other sweeps. It does have really good range, but I honestly, I don't recommend using it too much. If you're looking to whiff punish something, actually your best option is to like, let's say someone's whiffing, you know, and you can obviously like react with your own sweep. You actually want to react with scissor kicks because your damage is just way higher than a sweep. But obviously like, this is like your easy whiff punish, right? So you basically only use it for whiff punish or to punish like someone else's sweep. The crouch medium punch can be used for that too. Crouch light kick I didn't talk about. Light scaling in this game is really bad, so like you don't want to do it too often, but like on like a knockdown or like after drive rush, it's pretty good. The other cool thing is like lights will just naturally bait drive reversal. So if your opponent's like really drive reversal happy, you can do a crouch light and also catch people walking back. The other cool thing is like you can also do something like crouch light punch, light kick, and then stand light punch. And so you can get like a 3 jab combo. Crouch light, stand light, goes into scissor kicks. You can get a pretty cool mix up, right? So his overhead is actually quite good. A 21 frame overhead, reach is pretty far too. The best place is like once you condition them to block, run up overhead. There's a huge gap, they can mash it, but it's pretty good. And your combo from here is just crouch medium punch into whatever, right? As you can see, you can kind of like loop this sequence. Let's talk about supers. Level 1 we talked about pretty much only as a reversal on wake up, or if it's gonna kill. Level 2, you don't just throw out neutral. Generally, this is only using combos if it's gonna kill. I think the most common situation you use this from is you go into EX bomb. So anything in the EX bomb level 2, crouch heavy punch will also combo in the level 2. You can hold forward and back to direct it. Generally, I just always hold back. Seems more consistent. After EX scissor kicks, you can do this shit too. Yeah, there's a bunch of like choose your own adventure depending on how much meter you have. But generally, you're only using the super unless you're gonna burn them out or it's gonna kill. Level 3, I mean, standard level 3 theory applies here. Use early in the second round if you have it, or if it's gonna burn them out, or if it's gonna kill. Usually, you know, all these combos I talked about with, you know, that go in the bomb, you wanna combo into Psycho Crusher here because they do slightly more damage. And then that cancels directly into level 3. All right, so let's talk about advanced stuff now. Bison has a lot more combos than we talked about. The only one I really want to teach you is like a big cash out combo. So anytime you have the bomb on them, crouch medium punch or whatever into EX Psycho Crusher, into the regular version of Devil's Verse and the EX Head Stomp. I've never actually landed this in match. I'm already 1925 MR. Yeah, this is your basic cash out combo. Does a crap ton of damage, but I honestly find myself rarely in the situation to make this work. And of course that works after any starter. Oh, by the way, is there any use for this move? This move seems fucking useless to me. Am I tripping? Oh, this works? Oh, what the fuck? I guess this is the thing too. Holy shit! Why did I do so much? Oh my god, okay. Well, I guess that's the thing too. I've never actually landed this in match, but if you can land that, you got yourself a Willow kill clip. All right, so let's talk about some other tech. I think the other feature of this character are bomb subs. So the idea is that if you time the explosion correctly with something like forward heavy punch, right, you get a combo into your combo of your choice. Now, there's a few auto sequences that I've learned that I find they're quite good. Let's say I do a drive rush combo into heavy bomb, dash forward, back heavy kick is plus on block, right? So heavy bomb, dash forward, back heavy kick, plus on block, I can throw, right? And now if I mash forward heavy punch, that hits a overhead, and then you get a full combo after that, right? Another sequence I found is I think the target combo of the bomb explosion is also really strong, right? So something I've been doing is something like this: dash forward leg kick, hits meaty, throw, drive rush, target combo into the same sequence. There's a lot of different potential with this bomb subs, and I feel like you just have to find the best subs that work for you. Another really cool corner sub that doesn't necessarily use the bomb, but you get the idea, is after this core circle back medium punch, you do overhead, and this hits meaty, which means that you get a combo after. Into another sub, right? So they took 3K off of a media overhead into another bomb sub. Yeah, this character has a lot of tech to them. I think these are the best ones that I've seen so far. If you find anything that's better than this, let me know down in the comments below. That's it for the Bison guide. Let me know what you guys think. I think this character's strong. Like, share, subscribe if you want to see more guides on the channel. I think Bison is a rewarding character that rewards execution, but also has the tools to carry beginner players through the lower ranks. And I think, you know, as long as you put in the time and practice with this character, you'll be a force to reckon with. Anyways, take care, y'all, and I hope you guys enjoyed Bisons. I'll see you out on the streets. That's kind of lame, but whatever. We keep it in there.